How much would $1 million buy you in real estate in cities around the world? In these crazy real estate times, there's a big difference in what that $1 million will buy you. And today, I'm going to share with you prices from various cities worldwide. So I came across another report from Visual Capitalist, great website, where they talk about how much real estate could you buy for $1 million. And they talk about how Hong Kong versus Dubai even, you can get a lot more value in some places than others. Some of the cities they reference are among the least affordable housing markets in the world. Places that we've talked about that have high taxes, and they want even higher taxes to solve the housing affordability problem that they created. So I'm going to share with you their list. I'm going to share with you some of the tax-friendly places, the places with great lifestyles that you can go and live in from their list, and also talk to you about what $1 million will buy from the kind of places that I spend time that I believe are in many ways the future. Now, if it's your first time here, my name is Andrew Henderson, the founder of Nomad Capitalist. We're a boutique consulting firm that helps 7- and 8-figure entrepreneurs and investors legally reduce their taxes, diversify and protect their assets, and get multiple citizenships, all because we believe you should be safe and protected and in control of your life in these crazy times. I'm also the host of the biggest and best offshore conference called Nomad Capitalist Live, which is open to absolutely everybody. All right, so let's start with the list from Visual Capitalist. And they have a beautiful graphic here, which lists from Hong Kong to Dubai, basically showing that you get about six times more space in Dubai for your money than Hong Kong. So two tax-friendly places, Hong Kong territorial tax, Dubai basically tax-free, both accessible to start companies. Dubai probably a little bit more accessible to live in, and probably some place that you'd like to live in more. And so already out of the gate, we have Dubai being more expensive than New York, Paris, Tokyo, Miami, Melbourne, Madrid, places where you pay through the nose and the politicians don't think you pay enough. But let's just start at the beginning of the list. The most expensive city is Monaco. For your $1 million, you get about 157 square feet. Now, if you're used to metric, you just divide by roughly 11, 10.76 to be specific. So you're getting like 14 or 15 meters for your $1 million. I know people who bought property in Monaco, and I do feel like you get more, a little bit more than that for $1 million. But I will tell you my favorite story about searching for real estate. When I got a couple people together in Monaco, we were looking for, affordable properties in Monaco, hit on something like, wow, 600,000 euros. This looks like a great deal. It's a great location. Like, what could this be? This is like a steal of a century. And for 600,000 euros, it turned out to be a parking space in a garage. So that is kind of what you get. But I think I'd like to think you get a little bit more than 157 square feet. But nevertheless, that is the number. Monaco, the most expensive housing market. And I'll tell you, people I know who own property there are like, hey, I think it's going up every year. Will it happen forever? Perhaps it will. Although I do think that Monaco's status as a tax haven, there's so many places you can go. I don't know too many people who are asking about, I want to go to Monaco. Anyway, that's number one. Hong Kong is number two. You get 229 square feet for your $1 million, and absolutely one of the most expensive places in the world. Next up is London, 329 square feet. This is cities around the world, what you get for $1 million. New York is next, 358 square feet, followed by Singapore for 381. So let's just start to draw a comparison. Now I know you love New York, you live in it your entire life. They've been taking away your freedoms. They come out against you as a successful person. They're always looking for the latest mansion tax or wealthy tax or whatever they got going on in that part of the world. And so basically, you get just a wee bit more space in Singapore for your money than you would in New York. And so if you could start a business or make an investment or whatever the method that you're going to get residence in Singapore is, because you're probably not going to get citizenship, you're going to live there as a resident. So if you're going to move to Singapore, you're going to basically have the same amount of housing affordability that you have in New York, minus the insane city, state, and federal taxes. Now, if you're an American, right, you have to figure out how your taxes are going to work between the two countries, and so you may still end up paying something to the U.S. depending on whether you're an entrepreneur or whatever your status is. So that is to be considered. If you're from any of these other cities in this list that aren't from the U.S., you just move to Singapore and you're done, right? But you're getting more value for your money on the housing side, and you're dramatically reducing your tax bill. And oh, by the way, the weather's better. So that already is go where you're treated best. Next up, Geneva at $399, known as a tax-friendly place. If you're making high 7 figures, 8 figures, Switzerland is a place to consider. You're going to pay a lot of money to live there for housing and for everything else. It's not going to be like a Singapore where you pay a fortune for housing and then you go have an amazing $4 lunch at a hawker stall. It's going to be expensive in Geneva. But if you like that European lifestyle, again, you're getting more value for your money than in New York. You can get a residence permit in Switzerland, you can, in a place like Geneva, pay several $100,000 per year in tax, and you can live there with greater housing affordability and potentially a much lower tax bill. Sydney comes up next on the list, a place that a lot of people have been saying, get me out, 446, one of the least affordable housing markets in the world in 2022. Shanghai at 452, Los Angeles at 454, what they call one of the cheaper markets in the United States in the luxury housing space. Oh, how cheap it is in Los Angeles. And yet you're finally seeing real estate agents start to negotiate, from what I can tell, of like, yeah, but the taxes here are crazy. You guys are trying to pass a new tax every time someone wakes up. Who would want to have their main home in California, even when they're saying, hey, if you spent 2 months here at some point, we're going to go back and tax you. They have all kinds of new tax streams in Los Angeles. So you get a bit more housing than in New York or London or Singapore or Geneva, but you get all the taxes. Paris, 455, same deal basically. Same taxes, same price. Beijing, 601. Tokyo, 692. A place that's widely considered as a very expensive housing market, you actually get a lot more than you do in other places. Berlin, 786. Miami, a place that people have been flocking to, housing prices have gone through the roof, I think close to 30% in just the last 12 months. Why? People don't want to pay taxes. Let's call it what it is. If you really don't want to pay taxes, you'd be moving to Puerto Rico, you'd be moving to Panama City, you'd be moving to Dubai, you'd be moving to somewhere else on this list. You wouldn't just be scraping a few percent at the top from New York or California. You'd be going all in. Plenty of crypto people, plenty of entrepreneurs, plenty of whatever it is you're looking for outside of Miami. But 833, and I imagine you'll get less for that next year for your $1 million. Melbourne, Australia, another one of the most unaffordable markets in the world, 907. And then Madrid, Mumbai. Here's the interesting thing, Dubai. You get 1,469 feet. And I'm going to show you a few listings. This came up as the most affordable kind of international market on Visual Capital's list. Okay, Cape Town and Sao Paulo were next. You're probably not going to go there. But let me pull up a few things in Dubai, because I actually think these numbers, maybe across the board, are a little bit aggressive on their part in terms of you get more than they're actually saying you do. Let me pull up a property in downtown Dubai. This is a property that I spent a week at last year when I was just going through. I'm generally spending time on my own homes. I don't have a home in Dubai. I'm a resident of Dubai and the UAE. And so I stayed in this building, and I think it was a pretty well-run building, actually. There's a lot of buildings that are new, common with kind of warm weather locations. Maintenance is important. And so this building was brand new, well-maintained, beautiful place. For 3.052 million Emirati dirhams, which is about $800,000, you are getting 2,032 square feet. It's about 189 square meters, 2 bedrooms plus a maid's room. It is a 2-year-old property. I think it's probably 3 years old now. 3 bathrooms, and you actually have, floor-to-ceiling windows. You have like a brand new, nice kitchen. Everything's built in, like everything's ready to go. Full like ventilation and all that. So compared to what I see in a lot of these more expensive places, like in Europe, where they, put an air conditioner on the wall, and the windows are kind of small, and it's kind of like hard to really enjoy. This is a brand new property. You get 2,000 square feet in like a prime location. You walk to Dubai Mall. Obviously, if you want to go further out, I'm trying to compare to what they're offering in this report. You want to go further out, you want to get in a car, you want to drive 15 minutes to live in a villa, you're going to get more for your money. But if you live in a prime location, as I think this report is talking about, you're actually going to get more for your money. So for $800,000, I can get you 2,000. Which obviously means that it's a 30% jump over what it is that they're suggesting. Another property down in Dubai Marina, where a lot of foreigners like to live. You're going to pay 3.5 million dirhams, so 900,000 and change. You're going to get 3,375 feet, 5 bedrooms plus a maid's room, 4 bathrooms. You have a nice kind of view of the water here, other buildings, all the boats. It looks like it needs a little bit of work, but you've got the bones there with the nice windows, with the balconies, the views. So you can get, whether you want to live in downtown Dubai next to the amazing Dubai Mall, whether you want to live in the marina where a lot of people that I know live, $800,000 to $900,000, you're getting a lot more space than they're predicting. And I imagine you can do that, in New York and other places they're mentioning as well. But the point is this. When you're looking at places where you can get more for your money, okay, I've talked about the fact that I think Monaco as a tax haven for this reason just isn't that interesting to most people. I mean, even if you're going to rent and you're living the kind of lifestyle that we talk about where you're not always in one place, you're going to be spending $20, $30, $40,000 a month in some months when you're not there. I don't care how much money you have. I mean, to me, I don't mind, letting some money go. But the idea that I'm going to spend, €500,000 a year renting a nice place and then be there half the time, even for me, it's like, it seems like a little bit of a waste, right? And so Monaco, not as interesting to a lot of folks for that reason. It's just why spend that much money when you can go to Dubai and get like 10 times almost the housing for the money. Because I think that if you've earned your money, what people don't understand, and if you have earned your money, you probably do understand, is like you don't want to waste it. You want to invest in things that you value. But to me, I probably have a lot more options for lifestyle in a place like in Dubai than I do in Monaco. Now in Monaco, you can travel throughout Europe, but you're really supposed to be in Monaco a good percentage of the time. And so I'd rather have, the accessibility of Dubai that connects me to Europe, connects me to Asia, has a lot to do, gives me that zero tax policy, gives me the opportunity to run a company from free zone at zero tax, which beats out Monaco. And obviously Dubai beats out all these other places. So you've got some tax-friendly places on this list, but Dubai has some of the most affordable housing in the more well-known places. Now, you want to talk about the places where I'm actually spending time? Kuala Lumpur, for example, in Malaysia, you can get 6,000 square feet or more. But I'm talking KLCC, you find a good deal in a reasonable building, you do a little bit of touch-up. For $1 million, you're going to get at least 6,000, probably closer to 7,000 feet. Same in a place like Bogota, Colombia, 7,000 square feet. Now, are you going to have 7,000 square feet? No, you're just going to spend less money. You want citizenship? Istanbul, you go to the best neighborhoods like Nishantasi, you're probably going to get 2,300, 2,500, 2,700, maybe even 3,000 square feet for your $1 million. In that case, you're getting citizenship of that property. Go to St. Kitts. I'll find you plenty of villas with land on them. 2,500, 3,000, 3,500 square foot villas that maybe have an acre of property, that have a view of some kind. You can get citizenship with that. You want to go to places like Tbilisi, you're going to get 10,000 square feet. So obviously, if you have $1 million to spend on property, do you want to go to a place like Tbilisi, Georgia? I don't know. I actually happen to think that being in a place with a lot of business opportunities, that's up and coming, that has interesting people, that has more personal freedom, that's valuable in a lot of ways. And so the question is, would I want to live in somewhere like that and then spend half my time there, spend half my time in Dubai, and I get the benefits of both worlds? You can create the kind of perfect lifestyle that you want. But my point is this: why are people paying for overpriced housing in places that tax them to death when you can create the same lifestyle, often with better weather, with more potential context, more business opportunities, more freedom in other places? That's my read on what $1 million buys you in real estate around the world.